Ed Herman has conquered many obstacles to still be fighting in MMA, and he plans on making Clifford Starks his first of many victims in 2012. Who, like UFC veterans and former UFC heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez, wrestled at Arizona State. Of course, Ryan Bader wrestled at Arizona State. He's set to fight Rampage in Japan. Aaron Simpson was a coach and a competitor in the sport of wrestling at Arizona State. Clifford Starks debuted against Dustin Jacoby on less than a week's notice and pulled off the victory right in this building, the Mandalay Bay Event Center.
Yeah, Clifford has a very strong wrestling base, and he's working hard to put all the other pieces in place for his mixed martial arts skills, but make no mistake about it, his main strength is his grappling. He looks to take Ed Short Fuse Herman down and pound on him.
Training out of the Arizona Combat Sports Gym in Tempe, Arizona, with Trevor Lawley and Jacob McClintock. Of course, Todd and Trevor Lawley have run Arizona Combat Sports for many years. Still very much a wrestler, as Joe said, but an outstanding athlete overall. 10 varsity letters in high school, 4 in wrestling, 3 in track and field, 3 in football, won a state championship in high school in wrestling, finished 3rd in the Pac-10 as a Sun Devil at Arizona State.
And he is about as big and strong as you can get at 185 pounds. Very physically imposing young man. And his control on the ground is excellent. If he can get Ed Short Fuse Herman down, Ed's gonna have a hard time getting back up.
Now, the real key in this fight, and there are many, but one of them is the huge experience advantage that Ed Herman has. Ed Herman has 7 UFC wins in his career. Clifford Starks has 8 total mixed martial arts fights.
Well, what Ed Herman brings to the table on top of experience is power in his striking and submissions. Those are 2 things we haven't seen too much from Clifford, but Clifford is ever improving. So the Clifford Starks that we saw back in October, I guarantee you he'll be a better fighter today. Also, that was his debut, and as we've said many times, when you see a guy in his first time, oftentimes you don't get to see the full version of him. There's so much pressure in the octagon debuts.
And he also took that fight on less than a week's notice, as I mentioned. Fighting out of Tempe, Arizona, Clifford Starks. Okay, how far back does Ed Herman go? How about all the way back to season 3 of The Ultimate Fighter? He was a member of Team Shamrock, fighting out of Vancouver, Washington, born in Vancouver, Washington, now actually training in Colorado, but grew up in the Pacific Northwest. We mentioned a moment ago the 2 years where he was sidelined. That 2 years consisted of 3 different knee surgeries, but a healthy Ed Herman returned in Milwaukee back in August, and man, did he look good against Kyle Noke.
Kyle Noke, he looked great. He caught him in a nasty heel hook, and the Tim Crater fight before that, a vicious uppercut. And Tim Crater's been known for his ability to take a shot. So what Ed Herman said in the pre-fight is no joke. His hands are getting stronger and stronger. He worked on them very hard while he had his knee surgeries, and he wasn't able to do any grappling. Spent a lot of time working on his striking, and especially his hands. And we really saw that in the Tim Crater fight. Crisp, sharp boxing. He's got a great chin. Very, very well-rounded game.
He has been training in the state of Colorado since August of 2010 at Trials MMA in Fort Collins. Also has spent some time at the Grudge Training Center. New coaches, high altitude, a new mindset, and healthy knees. All things that could work towards the advantage of Ed Short Fuse Herman tonight in his 27th professional mixed martial arts fight. He too is a good wrestler, formerly training with Team Quest. Ed Herman, a finalist on season 3 of The Ultimate Fighter. Our tale of the tape for this middleweight matchup is brought to you by UFC Undisputed 3 in stores February 14th. Herman, 1 year the elder of Starks. Herman's taller, but it's Clifford Starks with the 3-inch reach advantage. to get things officially started. Here's the veteran voice of the Octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas for UFC 143, presented by Bud Light. And now, it's time to begin our first bout of the evening. 3 rounds in the UFC middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a freestyle fighter, holding an undefeated professional record, 8 wins, no losses, standing 6 feet tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Tempe, Arizona, Clifford Starks. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a freestyle fighter, holding a professional record, 19 wins, 7 losses, standing 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Fort Collins, Colorado, Ed Short Fuse Herman. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Josh Rosenthal.
Josh Rosenthal, our referee, the lovely Shondella, Ariani, and Brittany, all here tonight. Super Bowl weekend. Ed Herman and Clifford Starks are set to get things started. Tonight's clock brought to you by Bud Light. Here we go. Blue trunks for Herman, red and black trunks for Clifford Starks, and an uppercut early from Short Fuse.
Right hand by Clifford Starks caught Ed Herman as well.
Herman looking for that uppercut over and over again, Joe, and again and again. Starks would be wise to stay out of harm's way, because Ed Herman is looking to knock him out with one big right uppercut.
They tie up here, and Clifford Starks, you can see very physically strong, using his head, forcing it into the face of Ed Herman. And controlling him very well with that underhook. The left underhook's very important there.
Herman has good grappling, he has good wrestling. Being a member of Team Quest for many years up in the Pacific Northwest, with the likes of Chael Sonnen and Matt Lindland and Randy Couture way back in the olden days before Randy came to Vegas full time. Starks, as you said, very physically strong, one of the strongest fighters at 185 in the UFC today. On the break, looking for the left hand, was Ed Herman. Starks with a straight right. Had a nice head feint to set that up, and a good stiff jab.
Yeah, you could see he's really coming along with his striking. You know, we said it time and time again, Mike, but anybody who gets great at anything, nice right hand by Starks. The guy who gets great at wrestling can get great at striking. It's just a matter of focus. If you can be a champion in one athletic endeavor, you can be a champion in another one, if you put in the same amount of focus.
Uppercut again by Herman.
This is a brawl.
Yes, it is. Good way to get things started here tonight. UFC 143, presented by Bud Light. Straight rights connecting for Clifford Starks. Herman looking for the uppercut. Starks has landed nearly 70% of his significant strikes here in the first round.
Ed Herman again utilizing the underhook, turns Clifford Starks towards the cage briefly. And Starks turns him around. They're battling. Nice knees by Herman.
Starks gets out of the clinch wisely.
Boy, Herman loves that uppercut.
And I'm telling you, and again and again.
Well, that's what he knocked out Tim Crater with.
Yep.
He's become very happy with it.
He goes with a stiff jab or a left hook, and then follows it up with the right uppercut. Little blood on the ear of Ed Herman. Maybe the result of one of those straight rights from Clifford Starks. Under 2 on the clock here in the first round. Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
Listen, head control, watch out. Back out. Use your head, Cliff. Back out.
Very deliberate are the instructions from Trevor Lawley in the corner of Starks, talking about head control in this position.
Nice knee by Herman, a nice uppercut as well.
Winning the battle in the clinch is Ed Herman. And that's why Trevor Lawley was talking about the head fighting and head control. There's that right again, though, Joe.
Clifford Starks is a hell of a right hand, Mike.
Man, and he is finding it with laser-sharp accuracy.
He's hurt. Cliff, disengage. 1 minute, Cliff. 1 minute, Cliff. Clifford, 1 minute.
And Ed Herman takes him down. Look at this. Into half guard. Let's see if Clifford Starks has anything off of his back. A lot of wrestlers very uncomfortable on their back.
Half guard.
It's a wide open half guard as well.
And Ed Herman is an outstanding submission fighter. 12 of his 19 career wins have come by submission.
And he might look to take the back here, Mike. He's barely in half guard. His right leg is in between the two legs of Clifford Stark because only because he chooses to leave it there. If he wanted to, he can get out of it any moment he wants. But look at this. Starks turns it around and gets on top of him.
And now Starks just going to work from the full guard, now closed. And Ed Herman.
Ed Herman has a very offensive guard. Very good off of his back. And he will attack the legs of Clifford Stark if he gets any sort of an opening down below.
You know, he's coming off that submission by inverted heel hook of Kyle Noak. Of course, Joe talked about the uppercut knockout of Tim Crater down the street at the Pearl.
He's looking for an armbar on the left arm of Clifford Starks.
Clean break, clean break, clean break.
Tonight's Corner Cam brought to you by Corn Nuts, the official corn stack of the UFC. Corn Nuts, corn to the core.
Hey, baby. Hey, we're in a war. We're in a war here. Let's finish this. Let's go for him. Keep pushing that pressure. Let's break him now.
Let's take a look at this right hand by Clifford Starks. Man. Powerful right hand, excellent technique. And there's another one. And a nice left hook behind as well by Starks.
Jab, lean over jab.
Let's go.
Corn Nuts, the official corn snack of the UFC, providing our Corner Cam throughout the night here at UFC 143. Look at the damage to the left side of Ed Herman's face from those straight rights of Clifford Starks.
Yeah, Starks has got some power in that right hand. I'll tell you what, Ed Herman can take a punch.
Watch the heads, guys. Watch the heads coming in.
Herman's got to be careful that he doesn't drop that left hand, because he leads with the jab, then he throws the uppercut. He's got to be careful that he brings that jab right back to his face.
Threw that kick and slipped.
During that combination, Joe, or he could eat a big right hand on the counter. He can't hang that jab out there when he throws the uppercut. And he's kind of winking with that left eye, kind of wincing a bit.
Yeah, he took several powerful shots to that eye. He's probably having a hard time seeing out of it.
Again, Lawley talking about head control in this clinch situation for Clifford Starks. And head fighting is something that's not really talked about enough, but it's a huge part of this type of fight, that where it's taking place.
Beautiful takedown, right into side control by Ed Herman. Into full mount, nicely done.
Bad for Clifford Starks.
Watch the fingers in the face.
And Ed Herman is going to attempt to try to take his back here as Starks tries to get up, and he's got it.
Ed Herman looking to choke him out and finish this fight.
He's got the choke.
Looking for the finish.
He's got it across the face.
Starks trying to survive.
He's going to go gable grip.
Can Starks hold on?
He doesn't have it underneath the chin, Mike. He's trying to adjust. He's switching arms.
Starks is in all kinds of trouble. Looking for the
finish.
It's all over! Ed Herman, the winner by rear naked choke.
The well-rounded game of Ed Short Fuse Herman.
The key, Joe, was the takedown.
Brilliant takedown, and immediately moved to mount, controlled the mount position, switched to the back. Just an excellent job by Ed Herman.
Fight replay brought to you by Bud Light. Here we go.
And this is what started all off, this beautiful trip. Slams him down, and now look how quickly he takes the mount here. Just lifts that left leg over the top. And here's when he had the back mount and the final choke for the tap out. Here we see it one more time. Clifford Starks forced to tap. Big victory for Ed Herman.
Third straight UFC win for Ed Short Fuse Herman. With the official decision, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Josh Rosenthal has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 43 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by tap out from a submission due to a rear naked choke, Ed Short Fuse Herman.
Herman the winner, his 13th career victory by submission.